Good afternoon to you all and welcome from me, Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, to Lunchtime News here on UBC TV. This Tuesday, the 24th day of December 2024. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. Now, the Vice President of Uganda, Jessica Alupo, has emphasized the urgent need for collective action to reduce the rising number of road accidents in Uganda. Speaking at a road safety run in Katakwi district, she highlighted that road safety is a shared responsibility requiring a fundamental shift in mindset. Alupo called on all members of society, including drivers, pedestrians and cyclists, to adhere to road rules and prioritize safety. She also advocated for increased awareness, stronger enforcement of traffic laws and greater community involvement. The Vice President underscored the importance of installing speed humps on accident-prone roads and improving accident management training.
Now, you help all the people here and put those smooth humps in Abela. Without discussion, don't take us into civil engineering architecture. Because we agree there is no devil there is no bad spirit. But there are a number of accidents which have occurred in that spot. For us now who are not engineers, we think that something should be done expeditiously. For us, we want to start we want you to treat that as an emergency, like the way they treat a landslide, and put those humps there tomorrow. The women who came for the conference here, 30 of them got injured in that place, and about 3 died on the spot, and later others died until the number reached 7. Then also the border borders, we have lost lives in that spot. And the work of those humps should start, because there is nothing that compares with life. Life is priceless. I call upon the district to deal with the issue of Olela. If Olela road needs to be widened, please widen it a bit in that spot. Ochorimungin, there is a problem because there are some people who are going straight to Moroto. They are not stopping in the market. Some of them come, they think that it's a normal day, then they just abruptly meet the market. Is there any way people can access Ochorimungin after when they are about to reach on the sides, on both sides? You make 2 roads. So that if someone is going to buy a HRA I know where they sell, you can pass on the right. Then you access where the HRA is and come back. It can be done in a very cheap way, so that the highway is a bit decongested. Because the accident normally happen on the highway, in the market. And then those who are branching, the way of Mwalimu Odo was branching. For me, those days when I used to ride a motorcycle, when you want to branch and you don't know where the car is coming on, no, you can use your mirror to see. But also, the car doesn't know that you have reached your home, you are about to branch. If you slow down, the car might think that you are wasting its time. Kumbe, you want to branch. So the car, if you slow down, will want to overtake you. And then under those circumstances, you can find when you are now also branching to your home. So if you want to branch, if you are using your indicator, but also use a hand, you can also use a hand, it's allowed. You use your hand that you are going to branch now, you are going to branch. If not, you first stop. There is nothing about losing time which you compare with losing life. You stop. Then you see when the road is extremely free, then you can branch your home or where your customer is going. But the cheapest is use your hand. You can tell the person you are carrying that you do like this, do that you are branching. The person driving the car will know that you are what? The person you are carrying, you say you show the hand. Do like this on the left. Meanwhile, for you, you are watching in the mirror, because some of our people have died because of that. Someone wants to branch home, the car thinks he's wasting his time, then at the end of the time, at the end of the day, they knock each other. So I want to thank you once again for turning up in the big numbers to listen to the messages of road safety. I call upon all the stakeholders to do their part and save lives. And I want to thank again Dr. Muron and the medical team for the efforts in saving lives in hospital, but also for this specific initiative.
Vice President Jessica Lupo giving tips then as far as motoring on our roads is concerned, especially during this festive season. Now, proprietors of savings and credit cooperative organizations, SACCOs in Bushenyi district, have praised their members for their commitment to saving, which has led to payment of dividends and fostered sustained growth and development. They emphasize that this saving culture should continue in the coming year with a strong focus on larger, more impactful saving schemes.
Yeah, as a SACCO, we have always had as members the President himself talking about the 4-acre motto. And for us as SACCO members, as leaders of the SACCO, me as the chairman board, I've seen that it works. So when you are saving with Mushanga SACCO, you go back to where you come from and practice that motto of the President. Because for me, I've tested it.
These members, we had 442 members, and they managed to save 7.6 billion Ugandan shillings. And they bought shares worth 44,200,000, which has helped our SACCO in its day-to-day operation. Today was a special day in our life because we have given back to our members. We have rewarded them because of their good saving culture.
Today we are giving the exterminate to all our members. For us, we do not have any exclusions. All our members are getting exterminate today. Whoever enters our premises in all our branches will be able to get enough that is good for the Christmas.
So dear savers, I thank you very much for saving with us, for entrusting us with your savings or with your monies that has made us achieve what you are seeing. Now we have built our own house. So those people who have been fighting us along the Kasese Highway, now we have shifted to our own building.
We have been carrying out this function purposely to motivate our clients, our members, to save. We have been motivating them through this bonanza saving plan, whereby they have been saving from 5,000 shillings to 250,000 shillings per day for the last 90 days. So they have been saving. Now I'm calling them to also to use this money to make more money.
Now, police in the cattle corridor have intensified operations to combat cattle theft, particularly during this festive season. Authorities have discovered that criminals are using saloon cars to smuggle stolen cattle. Police spokesperson Rusoke Kituma confirmed yesterday the arrest of several individuals involved in this scam.
With the public gearing towards the festive season, animal theft and robbery has remained prevalent in the areas of Luwero, Nakaseke and Nakasongola, with the Savannah Police Region having retrieved 351 of the 451 stolen animals and apprehended 54 suspects in conducted regional operations on cattle theft.
50 cases of animal thefts were reported, and in those 50 cases, 461 animals were stolen. Police managed to recover 352 and also managed to arrest 54 suspects. So far, we have taken 40 suspects to court.
Security forces have associated falsified veterinary identities and documents and vehicle license plate forgery as a prevalent form of aiding animal theft.
There are numerous forged veterinary documents being used to transport animals out of the district.
Additionally, officers also noted the use of fake license plates. During this operation,
robbers have started smuggling cattle using saloon cars. The fight against the vice is hindered by unwillingness of victims to follow up cases.
Whereas people are always expecting that an average cow or a number of goats should be transported on a canter or a fuso, there are people who transport them in saloon cars. How? If it is a cow, they slaughter it, get the flesh or beef, and park it behind, in the behind boot. Now, some of these cars pass even checkpoints as normal private cars. Similarly, there are those who don't even go to the extent of slaughtering. They simply get a live cow and force it behind.
Security forces intend to work coherently with abattoirs, farm owners, district veterinary officers, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Husbandry and Fisheries to avert cattle robbery in the country. Patricia Nandago and Abdul Nasir Luvama for UBC.
Now, the interim leadership of Kampala Capital City Authority, KCCA, led by Frank Rusa Nyakana, has launched an anti-corruption hotline aimed at tackling the widespread corruption within the authority. Now, this initiative is part of broader efforts to enhance governance and accountability at the authority.
That we are going to address the vice of corruption.
Addressing the media on the milestone of his first 100 days in office, the acting executive director, KCCA, Frank Nyakana, emphasized transparency and service delivery in leadership. A hotline has been established for citizens to directly report on ethical practices, strengthen governance mechanisms, and ensure improved service delivery.
This platform will allow residents to directly report unethical practices to strengthen our accountability efforts. When those complaints are made on those numbers which are now before you, that is the hotline, those complaints will be investigated and action will be taken. I want to inform you and reiterate my earlier commitments that we are going to take a very firm stand against corruption and unethical behavior within our ranks.
Rusa Nyakana says in addition to tackling corruption, signalization of junctions, efforts to eliminate potholes, and the ongoing construction of roads are key infrastructure projects worked upon.
We have not yet reached where we would have wanted to reach, but we have made good progress. Those of you who witnessed the tour of Kampala City Roads, where I escorted the Prime Minister and other members of Cabinet, must have noticed a lot of work has been covered, and I would like to thank our contractors for heeding to our call. We also promised you 3 months ago, we said we are going to be very aggressive with potholes. We promised you some renewed aggression against the potholes, especially in the Central Business District. I am glad to report, ladies and gentlemen, our friends in the media, but also our Kampala residents, that as we speak, we have eliminated the potholes on a number of roads. We set out to operationalize 20 junctions with traffic lights. You have seen Mulago and Kubiri. They have been operationalized and 18 are under testing. The smooth flow of traffic at these two junctions has improved and is an indicator of the importance of signalization that will improve general traffic mobility in the city.
He announced plans to renovate the KCCA City Mortuary with work set to commence on January 6, 2025.
I am glad to report that we have embarked on renovation of the city mortuary, which is located at Mulago. This has been pending for a very long time, and we have engaged with the UPDF Engineering Brigade to do this job for us in the next 6 to 8 months. Therefore, the city mortuary will close on the 6th of January and temporarily stop hosting our departed people to pave way for these renovations. During this period, Mulago Hospital has been kind to agree to host the mortuary and the mortuary services.
Frank Rusanyakana assumed office as interim executive director following the Chitezi tragedy, which led to the dismissal of 3 senior KCC officials, including the KCC executive director, Dorothy Chisaka, following an investigation by the Inspector General of Government. Justine Nakame in Kampala.
News just in. Veterans in Lira have appealed to President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to address the challenges they face after retiring from the army. Under the Erute North Veterans Association, the group outlined several difficulties they are encountering and expressed frustration over their failed attempts to meet the president.
Veterans from Erute South in Lira district who served in the army and are retired are struggling to meet basic needs, with some even suffering from injuries they sustained while serving in the army.
And some of them, those who have just gone and those who have fought maybe other sides, some of them are still having bullet wounds, and bullets are still on some people's body. So we are requesting also the government, if they can do at least something, at least to help us. Because they are ever talking to me, they are ever crying to me that I should connect them, but no way. I tried always, I always try, but there's nothing which can reach up there.
This past Friday, a group of veterans gathered in Agweng sub-county to discuss their plight. They are seeking help from President Museveni.
Verification we did very many times, but we go there, we did verification, but there's no good result, there's no payment. So they are always verifying us, so we don't know why.
Despite several attempts to meet the president, the veterans say their call for help have gone unheard.
What I know, Museveni is not bad. Only that the people who are down under him, they have been stopping us to meet the president.
I'm going to help in mobilization for NRM government, because I know NRM government is not about to go anywhere anytime soon.
Yet, with the support of fellow veterans and initiatives like cocoa and coffee farming, they hope for change.
And I'm part of them. We shall form a cooperative. We shall be able to generate money. We shall be able to discuss other constructive avenues of eradicating poverty, like through growing of cocoa, which I have talked about, like through growing of coffee, which I have talked about.
As Office of the Presidency, we are going to give them all the support that they need.
Alafu sisi veteran tumeona kwamba kama tumepanda kokoa na coffee.
The veterans seem united in their resolve to meet President Museveni and to plan for their survival. Eddie Olwa, UBC News.
Thanks, Eddie, for that story there. Now we'll take a very short break, but we'll return with the latest in business.
Stop breathing. To be a winner, you must breathe only when necessary. Breathing is for losers. What is that? Did I give you permission to sweat? You can sweat in your free time. Push the arms straight.
Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day. Yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
There is myths that so many of you live by. If your eye is twitching, it means you're going to see someone you like. If it shines and rains at the same time, it means a leopard is giving birth. If your hand is itching, it means you're going to get money. If you see an owl, it means somebody's gonna die. If you hear of a disease outbreak, just know it is in a village district at the border next to some suspicious country. You will want to scratch that last myth because Mpox is in 19 districts and Kampala is among with dozens of cases. Please stop going around checking anyone's hand. Mpox kills. Protect your loved ones.
Welcome back from that break, and this is Lunchtime News here on UBC TV. I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Now let's have a look at the latest in business. Now, blacksmithing, a centuries-old craft in Uganda, has deep roots in the country's pre-colonial history, playing a key role in community development through iron ore mining and stone quarrying. However, the prominence of this indigenous technology began to decline in the 1960s as the government shifted its focus toward modern import substitution policies. We have more in this story.
Emakere University scholar Professor Elisa Magara has taken a bold step to revive appreciation for blacksmithing with the release of his compelling book, Blacksmithing, A Heritage of Abahesi Babitira.
This book is based on a family heritage of Amos Katunguka, and it traces from up to the 6th generation.
Now available in bookstores, the book is a rallying call for Ugandans to embrace and preserve their indigenous technologies.
In Ruchiga we call them Abahesi. He was talking about how they do stones, turn stones into...
Drawing from his upbringing in Kanganga, Mitoma district, Professor Magara shares personal anecdotes about growing up in a family of blacksmiths.
So the book also places these blacksmiths in the socio-economic development and the economy. So
Blacksmithing, a heritage of Abahesi Babitira, derives into the cultural practices, technological innovations, and resilience of the Abahesi Babitira clan in western Uganda.
Akabita blacksmithing. Tokwe na bwicho abushobozo buranga mpiri ni tongoza katabaka.
Book launch and Thanksgiving ceremony held at his country home in Kanganga, Manyanga, Mitoma district. Professor Magara underscored the importance of integrating traditional African technologies with modern innovations to preserve blacksmithing as an essential part of Uganda's heritage.
Blacksmithing, and also how was the technology working? How is the technology of the blacksmiths? But it also places it in the category of people that were doing blacksmiths. Well, there are many people who are doing blacksmiths, but this is a heritage skill that came from the family from the 6th generation.
The 7-chapter masterpiece, complete with an epilogue, chronicles the life and contributions of Amos Katunguka, whose blacksmithing work has had an indelible mark on communities in Kanganga, Mitoma district.
Dr. Bernard Wazilake, a librarian at Kavala University, was among the distinguished guests and received recognition for his significant contribution to the book's development.
We used to have our own cutting materials like umuhoro. No one knows what it is. Eh? You talk of a shekuru, no one knows what it is. Those things we need to, through cultural heritage, we need to reconstruct them.
The book explores the origins, cultural significance, and societal impacts of blacksmithing while offering valuable insights into the challenges and opportunities this traditional craft faces. The event was more than just a book launch. It was a celebration of blacksmithing's enduring legacy and the family values that have kept it alive as a cornerstone of Uganda's cultural identity. The ceremony also honored Amos Katuguka, marking his 90th birthday and 60 years of marriage.
Professor wa Makerere University na kongeraho ndije mishomo kwandika katabo.
Professor Magara expressed heartfelt gratitude for his father's legacy of resilience and inspiration.
Now, Uganda's industrial sector has experienced significant growth in the 2023-2024 financial year, contributing 27.4% to the GDP and 35% to the national economy. The Minister of State for Trade and Industries, Bahati David, highlighted the sector's impressive achievements in import substitution and export promotion during a media briefing at Uganda Media Center here in Kampala.
Uganda's industrial sector recorded significant growth in the 2023-2024 financial year, contributing 27.4% to the GDP. Minister of State for Trade and Industry, David Bahati, told the media that the sector generated 35% of the country's revenue, underscoring its vital role in Uganda's economic growth.
This growth is attributed to increase in manufacturing activities, which grew by 11% in the last quarter of 2023-2024.
The ministry's import substitution and export promotion strategy has yielded tangible results where previously imported products such as iron and salt are locally manufactured.
We are producing 192,000 tons of salt as a country. Soap is a time when we used to import soap, but now we produce, in terms of bars, 6,198 tons of soap. Fabric, these are textiles. We are producing 50 million meters. And the list is shoes. We are producing 400,000 shoes pieces every year.
So far, 12 new factories have been commissioned, with 15 more due for commissioning in the first quarter of 2025.
4 factories and trade bazaar at Kapeka Industrial Park were commissioned. The power plant was commissioned at Sugar Corporation of Uganda Limited, Scroll. In Mbale Industrial Park, we commissioned 4 factories. This include Unisteel Investments Uganda Limited. This new steel factory in the sector with a total investment of $100 million and employs over 500 Ugandans.
Ugandans are also taking advantage of opportunities in small and medium-scale industries.
Some of these factories require big factories, but we have seen a number of Ugandans also in the big, like most of these small, medium processing units, the 250, are all owned by Ugandans. The big ones, because of big capital, we have a few Ugandans who are venturing into this.
On labor concerns, Bahati highlighted government's efforts to address issues raised by workers in factories. Cayenne Faith and Andrew Sebida for UBC.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
The Honorable Minister of Youth and Children Affairs, Honorable Dr. Bargahara Balamatenyi, warmly invites all residents of Masindi District to a special Christmas Day lunch. Join us on December 25th, 2024 at Chigulia Primary School ground for an unforgettable celebration. Enjoy football, netball, music and fireworks at 7 p.m. followed by entertainment till morning. Share your voice and let's come together as a community. Merry Christmas to His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Mama Janet Museveni, and CDF General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Hangiriza Agutamba, Hangiriza Entare ya Bunyoro. Merry Christmas Bunyoro Kitara. Come 2026, let's all vote for Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
Welcome back, and now moving further afield. Israel has taken control of a buffer zone between Israel and Syria, stating that its forces will remain until they can ensure the safety of residents in the Golan Heights border area. Now, many of these residents are from the Druze community who are concerned about the potential fallout if Bashar al-Assad's regime falls, particularly regarding their relatives on the Syrian side of the border.
The majority of the some 20,000 Druze residents on the Israeli side of the Golan Heights welcomed the fall of the Assad regime. The Golan Druze are an Arabic-speaking religious minority, most of whom consider themselves to be Syrian citizens and have extended family on the Syrian side of the border. Many, like Druze social activist Nabih al-Halabi, say they hope for a new democratic regime in Syria which will make peace with Israel.
I will stay in my house. I will not leave my house, if it's Israeli regime or Syrian regime. But we hope and we believe, I believe personally, that in the next few years, Israel and Syria will be more close to make a peace agreement and real agreement.
The long Syrian civil war and the current situation of social and economic uncertainty have pushed young Druze in the Golan Heights into identifying more with Israel, according to Dolan Abu Salah, the mayor of Majd al-Shams, the largest Druze town in the Golan. He has worked as an Israeli local official for 16 years.
Since
the fall of Assad, we have experienced people here getting closer to Israel. The one who has proven that it can ensure security and human rights, especially for those living adjacent to the border, is the State of Israel. It is the stable factor here.
להבטיח ביטחון ולהבטיח זכויות אדם ואפילו לסייע לאחרים, ואני מתכוון פה ממש לאזרחים שגרים סמוך לגדר, זו מדינת ישראל. זאת הגורם האיתן פה.
Others in the Druze community say they worry about the rebels now leading Syria, who were previously associated with Islamic fundamentalist groups. They fear that the rebels will not be as tolerant of the Druze minority as was the former secular leader Bashar al-Assad.
First, let them cut off their beards and tone down their Islam. After that, I will agree that they will take charge of Syria.
The intentions of the Islamic fundamentalist rebel groups now leading Syria also worry Israel. Immediately after Assad fled, the Israeli army moved into the buffer zone between the Israeli side of the Golan Heights, which Israel occupied in 1967 and later annexed, and the Syrian side. Israel says it has no intention of staying in the buffer zone permanently, but wants to make sure the residents near the border are safe.
We cannot judge because the regime collapsed just on the 8th of December. So that's just in the short term it looks stable, but we don't know what will happen in the next few weeks and months.
The rebel leader and de facto ruler of Syria today, Ahmed al-Shara, says that Syria is exhausted by war and wants peace with everyone, including Israel. After more than a year of war against Hamas and Hezbollah, Israel too is exhausted, but both sides are waiting to see what happens next in Syria. Linda Gradstein, VOA News, on the Israel-Syria border.
Now, the magnitude 9 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami, which struck on December 26, 2004, claimed more than 230 lives across 15 countries, with the Indonesian province of Aceh being especially hard hit. Now, 20 years later, we reflect on the lessons learned from this historic disaster.
20 years after the massive Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami brought devastation to the Indonesian province of Aceh, some reminders of the event still stand as memorials, including a fishing boat that got swept onto a home in the provincial capital Banda Aceh. Rahmatullah Mosque, around 500 meters from the coastline, was the only building standing after the waves hit. All other buildings around it were demolished. The mosque has now been rebuilt, but the corner of it still memorializes the devastation in 2004.
This is for future generations, because our children don't even know what a tsunami is. They didn't experience it.
By contrast, Delisa Fitri Rahmadani did experience it. She was 7 years old when massive waves dragged her 8 kilometers from her home, killing her family members and causing her to lose one of her legs.
I felt such immense fear, not only from the strong waves, but the ground itself continued to shake.
Rahmadani is now an advocate for disaster preparedness.
What I know is when disaster hits, there will be panic and running around. But we can all plan this out now, including establishing meeting points for evacuations.
But some are concerned not enough has been done to improve the region's preparedness.
Aceh schools still don't have disaster preparedness included in their curriculum. Imagine, it's been 20 years.
Government bodies and non-governmental organizations sometimes hold disaster mitigation events to educate the public, but experts worry this may not be enough.
Disaster preparedness education is more sustainable when it is integrated into existing activities. When it's just a one-off event, people don't really remember.
To prevent another massive loss of life in the events of future disasters, the Aceh Disaster Management Agency has put in place evacuation infrastructure. There are now clear road signs and safe houses on the evacuation path. There are also 10 early warning sensors connected to tsunami warning sirens dotted around Aceh.
If something does happen, we must be prepared to act. At the least, with this, we can take advantage of the so-called golden time.
Golden time is the amount of time a person has between an earthquake and the arrivals of a potential tsunami. Experts say in 2004, locals had between 15 and 30 minutes to get out of the paths of the tsunami. And while officials here say progress is slow, they will continue to work towards the goal now of creating the infrastructure that will allow everyone to get out the way of the next series of deadly waves. In Banda Aceh, Ahadian Utama, VOA News.
And that brings us to the end of this lunchtime news here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for having kept us company. I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, wishing you a blessed afternoon.